Hi, welcome to my video. My name is Helen. I used to suffer from GERD or acid reflux, and I've been able to use natural methods to heal. So today I'm discussing a little bit about my journey with acid reflux, and I'm hoping that you can take away some really good tidbits of information that you can implement right away into your life if you're experiencing this condition, and also sharing so that if you continue to watch my videos, you have a benchmark that you can use to evaluate where you stand in terms of where I started and what I did to heal and why. So let's get right into it. First, I'll tell you a little bit about my background with my reflux, and then I'll discuss what I heard from other people. I'll tell you a little bit about the guidance that I received, and then I'll share two basic changes that I used to heal and that I still maintain today to continue not having any heartburn. My heartburn started about 8 years ago, so we're in 2023. So yeah, 8 years ago, I started feeling itchy throat, itchy ears, itchy nose, and I didn't take it too seriously at first, but I remember about a year after, it became really annoying, and I went to see my doctor. And she had told me that I could be experiencing symptoms of indigestion. I didn't really believe her because, of course, I didn't study medicine, but I didn't understand what my throat, ears, and nose have to do with indigestion. And also because she didn't seem to make a big deal out of it. She didn't recommend anything. I didn't think it was a problem. So I continued like that. And a few months later, it became even more annoying. So when I went to see my doctor that time, she gave me a prescription for acid blockers. I took them and immediately I felt better. So I continued taking the medication for a few months, and then I felt really good and I felt confident, so I stopped. However, about a year and a half later, or maybe a little less, the symptoms came back, and exactly the same. The itchy throat, the itchy stuffy nose, and the itchy ears. And I went back to my doctor. Same thing happened. She gave me another prescription for the acid blockers. So I took them again for a few months, and when I felt good, I stopped. Problem with that was that almost, again, a couple years later, the symptoms came back. And when they came back, they were worse. So not only did I have the itchy throat, ears, nose with the stuffiness, but now I was coughing, I was bloated, I had shortness of breath. And that time when I went back to the doctors, my doctor actually refused to prescribe me medication. I didn't understand it because, I just felt so much worse than before, and before she prescribed me medication. But she explained to me that she had come across some research that outlined that the long-term use of acid blockers was detrimental to health. And because I was healthy, in medical terms, I was healthy, she would not give me another prescription. Instead, she encouraged me to find natural ways to manage my heartburn. And what she told me is that probably I would have to change my diet, but she didn't give me anything detailed. So I left that consultation kind of not knowing what to do, but I thought I would do research. And this is what I did. So I went on Google, like I think anybody would do these days. And I read like what people were saying. Don't eat spicy food, don't eat fried foods. What else? Like don't drink pop like Coca-Cola and stuff. So I tried to avoid those things, but it didn't stop my heartburn. And my symptoms were becoming worse. So after, I think it was after about 3-4 months of seeing my doctor, I developed really, really bad heartburn. And when I say really bad, I mean that I would have heartburn 6 out of 7 days in the week, nonstop. Like I wake up with it, whether it's afternoon, evening, night, overnight, I would have the heartburn. And then I would have one day where my body, I think, would relax or something and I was okay. But usually that same day, by the evening, something would trigger it back. And I was so desperate for a solution. I felt like I was suffering so much. So I went to see my doctor again, asking for what I could do to treat this. And she just gave me a referral to some specialist, told me that she believes that I can do it. They're to just keep looking for information and resources, which weren't really helpful to me. So part of what I found also on the internet were recipes, and recipes for GERD. I followed a few. A lot of them weren't to my taste. I kind of found them disgusting, so I avoided some of them. But the ones that I thought were okay were also not good for me. Some had vinegars, some were using mayo, some had like a lot of sugar in the recipes. So it just aggravated my symptoms. And I did go and see the specialist I was referred to. They also motivated me to find a natural way to manage my reflux. And at that point, I really just believed everyone was evil. I consulted my doctor. I actually even got a second opinion from another doctor before I got to the specialist I was referred to. Everybody was telling me the same thing. So I don't know how else to say how desperate I was. I was just suffering. I wasn't sleeping at night anymore. I remember at one point, like I couldn't even drink water. I went to drink water one morning, like on my 7th day, where I was sort of free of my symptoms, and it just flared up the heartburn, and I cried that day. It was horrible. So I looked on YouTube after searching through Google. I looked on YouTube to see if I would find anything interesting. I did come across some videos where people were talking about using apple cider vinegar. So I tried and it was such a mistake. It was a big mistake because it intensified my symptoms. It didn't work for me. And after that experience, what I started doing was talking to people about it. Like I couldn't go out with my friends anymore. I couldn't go to dinner, like family events, like I couldn't eat anything. So I started telling people what I was going through, talking to friends, and I was actually really surprised that a lot of people could relate to the heartburn and how painful it can be. And with talking to people, I received guidance to first go see a herbalist, because my friend uh, worked with a herbalist who got into herbalism because she had GERD, which is GERD is chronic acid reflux, just in case you didn't know watching this video. So I got into a consultation with her. She provided me with teas that I started drinking, and it helped me settle my emotions, which was so weird. But I continued taking them, and it reduced the intensity of my symptoms a little bit. And I actually discovered through my health insurance that I had access to all kinds of medical professionals. So I started with consulting a naturopath, and that was the best decision I could have made, because the consultation I had started to turn the tide and started to take me through that process of healing. After the naturopath, so I worked with the naturopath for about a year, and then I switched to working with a homeopath when I was feeling better. And every single medical professional I was consulting was taking me a level higher in my healing. So just, it was like peeling off skin of an onion, or like putting them back on, like whichever you want to imagine. And I was just feeling better and better. But also in talking to people that had suffered from GERD, it gave me hope to know that I could heal this naturally when I felt completely desperate and couldn't find a solution. I spoke to 3 people who dealt with GERD, and the first told me that she had healed her reflux in about 9 months, the second in 3 months, and the third person, it had taken them a year. So I actually was really confident that within that year, I could do it. I believe in myself. So 1 year came and passed, and all I was able to do was reduce the frequency and the intensity of my heartburn. I was not healed. And I hope this does not demotivate you in any way if you're hoping to heal naturally. My process, my journey actually took 3 years. And 3 years is from that day that I drank the water and it flared up my heartburn, to today when I can eat pretty much anything. I can enjoy a bag of chips, I can eat deep fried fries, I can enjoy bacon, oh my gosh, what else? I can enjoy cake, anything, right? It took me 3 years. So I've healed like a year ago, but it took me 3 years to get there. And another thing actually that I found online that was not helpful to me, but I'm not telling you this to demotivate you, is affiliate products. I came across 3 of them. I purchased a couple. One had really good information. Actually, both of them had really good information. One of them, the gentleman was pretending to be a doctor, which I really didn't like. And applying the information that he provided didn't make any change. But in learning about how to heal my reflux, a lot of what he was saying were actually true, because his information derived from traditional Chinese medicine. But I don't want to demotivate you, but it didn't work for me. Another one that I found really supported the use, or yeah, the use of eating apples every day because of the apple pectin and the fiber and how it helps with digestion and elimination. So that one I took away from the second product that I purchased. And you know what? It actually really helped me. But the rest of the program didn't. And the recipes were really not good for me. Again, this is one of those that kind of, I think, wasn't put together by a medical professional. So there was a lot of things in the recipes, or a nutritionist. There was just a lot of things in the recipes that were not good. So some of them were high in sodium, high in sugar. Again, there was vinegars, processed products like ketchup and mustard. So I would be wary of using affiliate products and instead use the money to have a professional consultation with a healthcare professional. One thing though that really helped me is a book. I'm gonna go get it. Okay, so I was saying that so what really helped me, in addition to having consultations with healthcare professionals like the naturopath and the homeopath, for my diet, I use this book, and just for resource and information. So the Acid Watcher, and the author is actually a Dr. Jonathan Haviv. He's, I think, a ENT doctor, and this book gives a lot of information and background on what acid reflux is, what to do and what not to do. It also has a whole meal plan in the back, and the meals are delicious. They're not exactly what I'm used to, but you know what? They're really diverse. They're simple. They're ingredients you can get at your local grocery store, and it helped me not get any flare-ups. So really, really, really grateful for this book. I'll link it in the description so that you can go and check it out online. And now I'll tell you like the two really basic things that I used to heal. So one was the diet. And what I also maintain is the diet, but also relaxation. So for my diet, I thought I was pretty healthy when I had my reflux and I was being told to change my diet. I didn't really know what that meant, mostly because I didn't really know how to cook. So I fried everything, which was my way of cooking. And so I learned not to do that. And also, I'm very guilty of eating a lot of spicy food. So I also learned to eat without hot pepper. What else did I learn? I loved cake. I've had to decrease my consumption. Well, first completely eliminate it. I had to eliminate all sugars. So I cut out the fried food. I cut out most grains in the beginning, and all fruits that were acidic. So actually I only ate apples and bananas, because in the beginning I realized things like blueberries would activate like the reflux. I wouldn't get full blown, but it would come up. I did not do any vinegars, whether that's apple cider or any other that you hear out there. Did not do it. And I didn't do any citrus, so no lemon water, nothing. And changed the way that I cook. So I learned how to bake in the oven. I learned how to use a slow cooker, how to grill, and how to steam my food. Also, I started eating a lot more fresh vegetables, and I started eating no leftovers. So anytime I would cook, I would just cook for that meal, and I would cook so that there's no leftovers. If there was leftovers, I wouldn't eat them. Someone in the family would, which was a suggestion from my naturopath. I also stopped eating most meats and just stuck to lean proteins, so turkey breast, and fish. The relaxation was something completely new to me. I mean, we hear all the time that you need to relax and you should do yoga and meditation. And for me, I took that information, like I just thought it was overrated, right? I was living my life, I was used to it, so I didn't think I had any stress. Yes, I have a lot of things to do. I'm like anybody. My life is busy. I just want to get moving. I just want to go, go, go. And getting things done made me feel accomplished. So I didn't associate that feeling of that feeling of being accomplished with stress. And I remember one of the health professionals I was consulting with gave me a challenge one day, and my challenge was to just find 30 minutes before going to bed and have a quiet time. So within that 30 minutes, I could do anything. I could read, well, I couldn't do anything. I could read a book, like a paper book. I could have a hot bath. I could do a meditation. I could do some relaxing yoga, and then I would get in bed immediately. I did that for about a week, and wow, it completely changed me that I still practice that today. I started noticing within a few days just how my routine was really stressful, how trying to commute, like I live in a big city, it's really busy. Commuting to get to work, I don't really have much choice. I work downtown, so the commute was itself stressful. Running after work to get home to have dinner on the table was really stressful. Work was really stressful. My family was putting stress on me. Well, not that they're putting stress on me, but they do depend on me and rely on me quite a bit. So that puts stress on me. Even though I enjoy the responsibility, it's stressful. So I started noticing like little and big things in my life, and worked to eliminate them. And eventually I started feeling calmer, and with the calmness also came a reduction in the intensity. And with the calmness came sleep. And then I learned to elevate my bed. And when I learned how to elevate my bed at the head, I got even better sleep. And that's how my cycle of healing started. So my journey, like I said, was long. It wasn't a year, it wasn't 3 months. No, it took me 3 years to be able to enjoy food again. And for me, I really had to do this because I really, really enjoy eating. And I thought at one point that I could never eat food again the way that I used to. So right now I don't exaggerate and like eat everything unhealthy. I do have a really balanced diet and treat myself occasionally. It's with the help of other people that I was able to heal. Looking back on my journey, I could not have healed on my own. It was just impossible. Like everything I went through, everything I learned, all the consultations I had, it wasn't just with the naturopath and the homeopath. I had other consultations with other medical professionals, which I'll tell you along my videos. And there's just no way that I could have healed my GERD on my own, because my body was so damaged. My digestive system was completely out of whack. All right, so I'll leave you here for today. I hope some of the information that I shared was useful and will be helpful to you. You'll notice that I link in the description below a website that gives you information on acid reflux. There's tons of resources, whether you're trying to heal the natural way or you want to go the traditional route with prescription medication. There's a little bit of information on it. If you found the video useful, give it a thumbs up to like it, and subscribe for more if you're interested in learning how to heal your reflux naturally. I'll see you on the next one.